What's shaking, YouTuberites? Welcome to the Comic Shaker Show. The boys are rocking it with you guys tonight. That's right, man. So buckle up, get ready, take a seat, pour yourself a cold one. And let's get into it. Let's see who's on the ones and twos tonight.
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Oh yeah. What's good, my fellow comic fans, my comic geeks, the comic familia? How's it going tonight? Appreciate everybody being here. Welcome again to the Comic Shaker Show. As I said, the boys are holding it down. We got Jay Bizzle in the house, we got Chris in the house, and I'm so pumped to get through this amazing list tonight. Let's go round the horn and say hello, Chris. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, JB, man. Thank you so much for filling in tonight. We're so glad to have you. Guys, you guys are in for a real treat tonight. We got a great list. We're going to go over the Shaker Report, but I have a new cover price music video just for you.
Yep.
We are debuting it tonight. And
no one's seen it yet. No one.
I cannot.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. But in the meantime, we got some great reads. We got some great comics to talk about. The chat is on fire. I can see you guys in there. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. The list is great, as you said. No one's seen it or heard this music video yet, so this is going to be a first for us as well. JB, I think, is equally as anxious as I am to see this.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
I don't know.
We got a great list. We got a great list tonight. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's actually an offer list because I think I have 2 books on this list, which is amazing. So,
well, there you have it, man.
There you go.
Yeah, JB, tell us what's up, man. I'm excited that you're here.
No. Thanks for having me on. By the way, I'm available to do stuff. Guys, give me a call. Anyone else out there watching on the YouTubes, if you're like, hey, we need to get that guy on here, I want to ask him a few questions, go ahead and hit me up on the Instagram. And I got a nice little setup here with the camera and the lights and the mic. I'd be more than happy to come on your channel and have a conversation.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong because kind of like what somebody said in the chat. Where is it? I saw it. Michael Baker saying that JB, the smoothest voice on YouTube, and I couldn't agree more. He's somebody I only wish to be, but he's got the smoothest voice. Guys, it's a big weekend ahead. We've got C2E2. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but yes, C2E2 is taking place this weekend. If you're looking to get the entire list of exclusives for C2E2, go on over to Cover Price. They put in all the hard work, the heavy lifting for us, and got the entire list of all exclusives that are available this weekend over at C2E2. Now, the list is not a small one. It's surpassing 350. I think we're at the 400 mark.
400.
Dude, it is
400.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's madness. Absolute madness.
I went to Awesome Con last weekend. There were 5 exclusives, and none of them were my bag,
Yeah, it's insane to see over 350 exclusives that are available at C2E2. But like I said, Cover Price put in the heavy lifting, so make sure to go check it out. They detail exactly which book is at which booth. So if you are just, caught up and need to know the information as soon as possible, definitely go check it out over on coverprice.com. And even better, guys, if you can't make it to the con and you want to win some of these exclusives, you have the opportunity to do that because Cover Price is going live in collaboration with Big Clutch and eBay They have a giveaway show taking place Saturday, April 12th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to tune into that because you have a chance to win some amazing exclusives. I don't know if you guys saw the comics coverage show over on Monday, but Matt and John were saying that they're giving away quite a few exclusives on that show. So definitely tune in, check it out. And yeah, there's your opportunity.
Wow, big shout out to Cover Price for partnering with
Yeah.
eBay. That's some big deal right there. That's a big time.
Yeah,
And they're growing up right before our eyes, everybody. They're growing up right before our eyes. Look at that.
I remember when that database could barely walk.
Yep, exactly. But guys, this weekend is a good time to get all your burner accounts ready, to try and win yourself a nice exclusive.
I didn't say it. He said it.
I totally did. But anyways, guys, let's kick off the list because, as I said, it's an amazing list this week. So this list comes from our friends over at Cover Price, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive Daily Shaker list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every day to review some of the hottest trending books on the market. And to kick it off, the smoothest voice on YouTube, JB.
Come on. Man, what a great book to kick off the list. Shout out to Cover Price, the writers at Cover Price. Here we go, folks. At Shaker number 1, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 90 from 1970. Now, this is an important and emotional issue in Spider-Man's history because it features the death of Captain George Stacy, Gwen Stacy's father. Now, Captain George Stacy was a respected New York NYPD police officer and a father figure to Peter Parker and Gwen's father. He dies historically while saving a child during a battle between Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus. A piece of falling debris strikes him, and as he dies in Spider-Man's arms, he reveals that he knew Peter was Spider-Man all along. Still gives me chills. Yep. This death, along with Uncle Ben and later Gwen Stacy, heaped guilt on Peter Parker's shoulders and became the core theme of his life and character. This issue signaled a more mature and dramatic approach to the popular character. According to the Spider-Verse canon, this is a canon event for most, if not all, Spider heroes. There are over 1,200 graded copies on the CGC census, but of those, only 10 are in 9.8 condition. And recently, one of those 10 sold for $16,800.
Damn!
Boom.
Wow.
Right?
That's
wow.
Wow. That's
a 9.8 though in this book from 1970. I mean, I've had this book go through my hands a couple of times, and I've never had a high grade copy of this book. They've always been, VG, and when I got them at 15 cents.
Just for comparison purposes, a 9.0 sold last month for $225.
Wow.
So a 9.0 to a 9.8 jump is an 8x.
Now, another question for you. How many on the census at 9.0? Because there's only 10 at 9.8.
I don't know. But, I mean, you have to imagine that a 9.0 is probably a little bit easier to get, considering the quality of paper in the 70s Marvel era.
Well, sometimes the low census count means something, especially on a major book like this. But sometimes the low census count means nothing because it's a new modern book. So stop slabbing every single new modern book.
Yeah, dude, I wish I could, own this book in a 9.8, but geez, that 16,800 price tag is going to make that a little impossible for myself. So yeah, I would love to know what that 9.0 is going for, because this is a classic book. JB, as you said, it's passed through your hands many times. I think that moment of when Captain Stacy knew all along that, Peter was Spidey. It's such a big moment. I wish I could own this book in a 9.8, like I said, but not going to happen. Not going to happen because, guys, Amazing Spider-Man, issue 90 by Marvel in 1970 at a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $16,800. But hang tight, because I like to think that Spidey is the flagship boy for Marvel. we have somebody who I would say is the flagship boy for DC. And Chris, what do we got at number 2?
We got Batman Begins, the official movie adaptation from DC in 2005. I actually have this one. This one puts me on the list. In 2005, Christopher Nolan was brought in by Warner Brothers along with David Goyer to provide a reboot to the Batman film franchise, one of many reboots for the Batman franchise. After a largely unceremonious ending to the previous Batman cinematic universe by the way of Batman and Robin, everybody flees! Nolan sought to bring a detailed origin story to the big screen. Nolan and his team decided to bring Christian Bale to portray the Dark Knight, and the rest is history. Bale's performance showed a level of intricacy and depth not before seen for Bruce Wayne on the screen, and the ultimate result was a movie that was well received critically, leading the way to 2 magnificent sequels. Near the time of its release, DC published an official movie adaptation in the form of a one-shot, and it has been quite difficult to find in recent years. What has proven even more difficult, however, is to find a graded copy of the book itself. For this week, the first documented sale of this book in a CGC 9.8 sold for $300. A book, $299, pardon, for a book that can be had raw for $10 to $15 is a pretty substantial number to hit. The sole reason for this is likely the fact that there are less than 15 9.8s on the census. If you are a regular reader of the Shaker Report and a regular watcher of the Shaker Show, you must certainly know by now that low numbers on census can oftentimes result in very notable sales numbers, as we were just talking about. So, if you're sitting on a copy of this adaptation and it's in good condition, which is probably pretty rare, because if I remember correctly, this is square bound.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. This might be worth your time to get it graded. So yeah, there you go. And why is it rare and why is it hard to find in good condition? Because it's Batman.
I was just gonna say that. I think this is a square bound book. This is one of those, if you read it, it can't be 9.8, because once you crack it, it's cracked.
Yep. Yeah, once you crack it, it's cracked.
It's cracked, right? Once you read
crack is whack. Don't do crack.
Yeah, guys, I really enjoyed this trilogy though. Like I feel like now with the James Gunn reset, it's kind of like all eyes are on DC. There's like no room for error, and especially when it's gonna come to Batman. I think there's gonna be some super high expectations, and I know for a fact that James Gunn is very much holding back on showing anything. If you guys watched Creature Commandos, they just showed a silhouette because James Gunn himself is still uncertain of the look and everything he wants for Batman. So I think this trilogy is going to be hard to come in battle against, right?
This was my favorite Batman trilogy so far. This was Bale was he was good.
Yes, but rest in peace, Val Kilmer, because Val Kilmer, I think of the OG Batmans is probably up there. I would put him at the top. I would
agree. Yeah.
But anyways, guys, Batman Begins, the official movie adaptation by DC in 2005, had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $299. JB, show us what we got up next.
All right, next up, we've got The Defenders. Issue number 1 from 1972. That is Bronze Age, baby. Now, the first team of Defenders in Marvel Comics debuted in the early 1970s and was a very different from typical superhero teams like the Avengers or X-Men. They were more of a non-team, a loose alliance of powerful loners who teamed up out of necessity rather than a shared mission or formal organization. The Defenders were kind of Marvel's answer to Misfits teaming up. They didn't hang out at a base or call each other teammates. Think of it more like Doctor Strange calls you when something big in reality warping is about to go down. Doctor Strange, the Hulk, and Namor first came together in Marvel Feature issue number 1. I actually have that book. And the concept was well received enough that it led to their own book in August of 1972. While the MCU hasn't officially released a Defenders movie, there is a possibility that the asterisk at the end of the Thunderbolts title could change to the Defender. No way, dude. Come on. I just ad-libbed that. Sorry. While none of the original members are likely to appear in the movie next month, they do fit the vibe of a non-team more than, say, the Dark Avengers, which is also a rumored title. Maybe someone's in the know and they got a deal early, or perhaps someone just got a 9.8 of the Defenders for $6,000, because that's what one recently sold for at 9.8.
Beauty. Again, another book that, look, this is the book that puts me on the map for tonight. So I'm 1-3, guys.
You're
but
on it, right? You got this. I got this one too.
yeah,
I
exactly.
love Marvel frame books from 1972 to early 1973. I love Marvel
gorgeous.
frames.
Yeah,
20 centers. My birthday book is a Marvel frame, so it's one of these 20 centers.
Yeah, it's wicked to have as a birthday book, but like kind of like Derek in the chat, mine is equally beat to shit. So I'll take it. I'm on the board, but definitely not in a 9.8 condition and 6,000. My goodness.
So the read brought up an interesting question, which I don't think I buy. Thunderbolts being rebranded as Defenders.
I don't buy it either. I had to comment right there. I had to bust into the middle of the read. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Now, I know that I think they haven't really explained what the asterisk means. Some say the asterisk is because the Avengers aren't around. That's why you've got this, misfit Thunderbolts, or what is the asterisk supposed to mean? Do you guys know?
Asterisks are used to point to an annotation or to stand for something that's omitted. I mean, that's what it's used for. So, I mean, it could be it might be like during the movie they say like Thunderbolts, damn it, and they can't put damn it in the title, so they put an asterisk there, and it's the joke you're not going to get unless you go to the theater and watch it.
That would, you know what? I hope you nail that.
Same, man. But I definitely don't see it being the Defenders. I'd love for it to be the Dark Avengers. I'd love for Norman Osborn to be involved there. I would have loved for him to have been the one who purchased the Avengers Tower. We've seen Valentina, so we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. But I know one thing: pre-ordered my ticket. It's ready to go. I'm going on the release night. I don't know if you guys are.
Ooh, I haven't done a release night in forever.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Since I had kids, I think the last release night was the Final Avengers. What was that? Endgame, yeah. I ended up seeing like a 10 o'clock showing, and I had to go by myself. My kids, my wife didn't want to go, but I was like, so die hard, I gotta see it. And
hey, it's okay, man. At least they didn't have to see you shed tears when Tony.
That's right. They didn't have to see me cry, man. They didn't have to see me cry.
Yeah, there you go.
He loves your $3,000. No, like a child.
Oh man, yeah, I could no.
I love it, man.
Right in the dad feels.
Yeah, big time. But guys, the Defenders #1 by Marvel back in 1972 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $6,000. Chris, take us to the next book.
Next book, Shaker #4. We got Dreamer #1 by IDW in 2008. Now, watch out for Laura, because this is the Jenny Friesen cover. And Jenny Friesen is no stranger to our Shakers list, as she has been featured many times for her cover work. As history has shown us, anytime artists begin to grow up in the industry and gain a fan base, their earlier works start to heat up. This is no exception. Friesen's earlier work on books such as Voltron, Legend of the Forge, Hack and Slash, Vampirilla, Countdown to the Second Coming, and Hack and Slash My First Maniac have all become $100 raw books that are highly sought after by the die-hard Friesen fans like Laura and other collectors alike. Another book that has joined the ranks of high-dollar Friesen variants is her cover on the first issue of IDW's Dreamer series from 2008. This book was released the same year as her Voltron and her Hack and Slash and Oz books, but has long been mostly an afterthought in comparison. That happens to be changing this past week when a very fine, raw condition sold for $89. This book, like the others mentioned above, are difficult to find, but not impossible. So keep your eyes peeled while you're digging through those long boxes.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Nice. Are you guys huge Frizzen fans? I know we know that Lady Laura is a huge Frizzen fan. Are you guys huge Frizzen fans? I met her I think it
Did
was a
you tackle her in the
C2E2.
bathroom like Laura did?
No. No, did she tell you that? Is there a story I missed? I gotta get that.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah,
she
dude.
she had a conversation with her like at the sink while she was washing her hands, but she's
Oh,
also
all right.
mentioned about like wanting to tackle other celebrities. So I give her a hard time and say that she tackled Jenny Friesen in the bathroom.
I thought you were gonna tell me she had a conversation through the stall door or something. You know, sitting on the shitter.
Yeah. That would be horrific.
Wow.
Yeah, but it also wouldn't surprise me. But besides that, yeah, no, I am a fan of Frizzen, man. I love her work, but it's I'm a sucker, especially when I see even her current stuff coming out. And once it hits FOC, it's like it's impossible to pass up on. But this particular book, I never read this book, so don't ask me, what's taking place within this book. But some of these Frizzen covers are definitely harder to find. And to give you an example, this particular issue, Dreamer #1, on the CGC census, there's only one book that's ever been graded, and it's a 9.4. So
Wow.
I totally get the raw, very fine price tag. Probably not many copies of this out there. And if anyone's picking this up, I imagine it's a Frizzen fan, right?
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
it's
God,
definitely
yeah, come
something
on.
that this is definitely a book that I wouldn't have known to grab. Now I do, because to me this doesn't look like a Frizzen cover. I think it's the coloring on it is just a little bit different than what I'm normally seeing in her work.
Is there an artist that you've ever chased early works of?
Joe
specifically?
Madureira and Alex Ross.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Lando, you?
You know what, man? Right now, I'm
Like-
kind of chasing a lot of Michael Turner stuff, which is a little difficult. I don't want to say another name because it might give it away what's up and coming, but I'll signal it once we get there. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Earlier work, it's tough, dude. Like you want to try to grab some Adam Hughes, it's like it's already up there. Scotty Young, it's already up there.
Yeah.
So a lot of these bigger names that we're seeing today, if you try to chase them, kind of like this Frizzen, right? The price tags are now up there.
Well,
And
I agree with Derek. I like to chase some early Todd McFarlane.
yeah, dude, of course, that's amazing. But
DC Todd McFarlane's. Oh man,
Right,
DC
DC.
Todd McFarlane cover. Oh my god.
yeah, exactly. But guys, Dreamer #1 by IDW back in 2008 had a top sale for a raw VF copy for $89. Now, JB, I think we're gonna have fun with this one. What do we got?
I don't know, man. You want to get that Q thing ready if I start to mispronounce some stuff?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Let's start with the title, The Ettlingville Club.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, good.
All
Yeah.
right. Originally published in 2014 from Dark Horse, a sometimes scathing review of fandom and geek culture, The Ettlingville Club was created by artist and writer Evan Dorkin in 2014. Now, Dorkin's book, reminiscent of Robert Crumb, showcased the exploits of 4 foul-mouthed fanboys and was initially spun off his previous work on Dork. Imagine a crass version of the Big Bang Theory, and you're almost there. According to our cover price robot, this issue has sold steadily over the past few years for an average of $3. But in March, that number started climbing as a VF raw copy of this comic sold for $60. Now, that sale, though, was recently eclipsed when a near mint raw copy traded hands for $285.
Oh, if I didn't use the damn already, I'd use it again right now.
Again, right from $3 to $60 to $285 for
Well-
something that I probably thumbed past how many times, and you're like, I never gave it a second glance.
Again, why? Why did it get optioned? Is it why is this going from a no-name book
I have
to
no
a staple?
idea. Yeah. Doesn't say why. Yeah, I don't know. Read the tea leaves. Maybe something's about to happen. We'll
I
see.
don't know. Do some Google poo here.
I'm about to do some Googling here. And Evan Dorkin, I'm not familiar with his work. Are you guys familiar with anything else he's done? It
No
says
idea.
3-time Eisner Award winner.
Wasn't he the artist on the Clerks comic?
Okay, I can see that.
Again, I have no idea. I'm not familiar with him, but it is very impressive to hear the jumps that this book has done in just the recent time. You said it went from like $3 to $60. Here we are.
$60 for VF, and now we've got, and this is all raw. So $3 on average. Then all of a sudden, a VF copy sells for some money for $60, and then boom, near mint raw copy, $285.
That's
Somebody's
impressive.
So this was option for a pilot on Cartoon Network, but it predated the release of the book. Huh. I don't know, man. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Pretty interesting sale. Again, a book I've personally never ever heard of. So kind of curious. I'm gonna do some homework on this one too. Very interesting to see on the list. So shout out to Cover Price for highlighting this one. But guys, we have the Eltingville Club #1 by Dark Horse 2014 with a top sale for a raw near mint at $285. Chris, I love this cover. Talk to me.
So before we get into this, we are at the halfway mark, and just a reminder that we have I got a special gift for all of my co-hosts and the chat. That's only going to play one time in full, and then after that, you're going to have to go to my YouTube channel to see it. So you guys got a treat coming up between the list and the Shaker Report. So please go into that comment section, talk about your favorite book of the night, talk about the good, talk about the bad, the good, the bad. You know, those are the facts of life. And, subscribe, hit that bell icon, get involved, and do it already. Damn. All right. So here we got DS Publishing's 1948 Gangsters Can't Win. This cover to this pre-code horror beauty boasts a number of features collectors love to see when spending serious money on books for their collection. First and foremost, there's a big, beautiful skull. In this case, a skull that also acts as a prison for a number of shady-looking characters. In the forefront, there's a beautiful woman being threatened and choked by a man after she apparently screamed at him. This skull is offset by a dark green background which only accentuates all of the action on the cover. The eye appeal of this comic book definitely makes it one pre-code collectors are always wanting to add to their collection. This series itself retells the bloody and brutal crime stories of some of the most notorious criminals of the 1920s and 30s. All capturing the minds of the young and impressionable readers. This past week, we saw a raw, low-grade VG copy sell for an incredible $1,680.
Wow.
This sale blows away all other comparable raw sales we have seen. For comparison, a good copy sold for $100 in 2017, and a fine copy sold for $800 in 2019. A very good is a CGC 3.5. And the last time a CGC 3.5 sold was a year ago, and that one sold for $1,400. So you just got this book going up and up and up in value. And I gotta wonder, are people pulling their 401ks and buying these gems? Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love pre-code comic book covers. They did whatever they felt like, and they're so trippy, such like amazing things to look at. The more you look at it, the more you unpack. Like I'm staring at this, and that girl's eating a haymaker.
She's just eating a haymaker, man.
and like you, I don't know if you could put that on comics nowadays. Then you got that one guy like with his little pistol over there. Then there's like a staircase coming out of this skull's tooth with somebody there in the background at the bottom. I don't know what's going on.
Take this knuckle sandwich.
Yeah, man. The dude was not having it today. He was like, "Not today, Satan." But
Jesus.
yeah, it's a very interesting cover, man. I love this.
Yeah,
Great
brunette
collection of
red
books in
dress.
this show. Great collection. Cover price. Outstanding job tonight.
Yeah, man, absolutely on fire. But guys, yeah, let's just look at this cover just a little longer. But Gangsters Can't Win. I accept the challenge as well. I saw that in the chat. Issue number 2. DS Publishing 1948 had a top sale for a raw VG copy at $1,680. You asked me, JB, earlier artists, art covers. Who would I collect? Show us what we got next.
I had a feeling it was going to be this one coming up.
Yep.
All right, at Shaker number 7. Now this is this is kind of a magazine, but we're going to get into it. Hard Boiled Detective issue number 12. The Bruce Timm from Griffin Books in 1991. Now, Bruce Timm's early work has become super popular. His unique retro art deco style has helped define the modern visual language of superheroes. His style has been described as minimalist but expressive. He is also known for doing some of the noir pulp-inspired covers on Hard Boiled. The magazine evolved from 2 separate publications, Hard Boiled from 1985 and HB Enterprises, and Detective Story Magazine from 1988 by Griffin. In 1990, the 2 merged under the title Hard Boiled Detective, which was shortened to Hard Boiled in 1992. Known for its gritty crime stories, the magazine consistently featured both established and emerging writers, and we covered a similar issue back in January of this year. Mr. Timm did the covers from issue number 10 to number 24. His early work has become very sought after and hard to find. As such, collectors are still willing to pay a premium for these rare finds. Now, recently, 12 of these issues went on sale in the market, running from issue 12 to 23. This is a unique occurrence, especially in the condition of some of these listings. And recently, a raw copy of issue number 12 and number 22 separately sold for $280 each.
Wow.
Bruce Timm.
Yep. And that, as I said, Bruce Timm is another one that I just would love to collect some of his older stuff. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Mr. Long Story Short, that was covering some of the hard boiled stuff. But like earlier, Bruce Timm is like Bruce Timm in general is just amazing. It's stuff that I love coming across. If I had the opportunity to pick up, I would definitely pick up if the price was right. But this cover, man, is just stunning. Again, I love Bruce Timm. Now, I know everybody's a little distracted there, and you feel like you could hang your car keys on those, but but Bruce Timm, like I'm telling you, man, he just has such a unique way of drawing, and it stands out to me. I just love it.
So I know that this is a $280 book, mostly because of the rarity and because this is early work. But Lando, can you show my window that I'm sharing real fast?
Sure. Let's go. Hold on. Let me just take this out. There you go.
This is Bruce Timm's first cover. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Bruce Timm's first cover. It was an insert in the Masters of the Universe He-Man line. It came with the Grizzlor comic, and I gotta tell you, you can get it for pretty cheap.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm serious. This is
Chris. I'm getting one of these.
If you want Bruce Timm's first work, and I see no reason why you wouldn't, you can pick this up for under $20. Send it in to get graded. It's it's small, but it's beautiful, and it's his first work. I mean, it's even got his little Bruce Timm signature right there. 1984. This is his first cover.
I bet you this is going to show up on the list next week. Now that you're done blowing it, they're going to come back.
I've talked about it a few times. This isn't a secret. I've discussed this, and I think that if you're targeting his first work, this is what you got to get. It's under $20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a solid grab, man. I'm literally looking at the copies on eBay as we speak, and there's plenty of good ones. Like there's
Yeah.
some very, very clean copies for, like you said, $20 price range. You're a winner in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, I love it. But yeah,
Awesome.
guys, as I said, Bruce Timm, especially the Hard Boiled Detective issue 12, Gryphon Books.
Hard boiled detective.
Yes,
Right.
heart.
Ribbon.
Yes, exactly. Breast book on the list tonight. Gryphon Books, 1991, had a top sale for a run year mint, $280. Now, Chris, what do we have up next?
Oh man, this is so great. When's the last time you saw a Tops comic get on this list, let alone a CGC 10 Tops comic? Are you kidding me? We have Jason versus Leatherface from Tops. Yes, that's Tops, same people who make the baseball cards. And from 1995, heads up, everyone. We often tread carefully around 10.0 grades in the write-ups that Cover Price does and on this show. And that's thanks to an ongoing debate with the comic community about the surge of perfect air quotes graded comics that are being handed out by CGC. We cannot ignore this sale, and neither should you. Nancy Collins ingeniously crafted this thrilling mashup between two of the most iconic horror characters of that era. Intriguingly, she also had to navigate a complex web of narrative changes to satisfy the Friday the 13th creators, despite it straying far beyond the established canon for both universes. What is truly astounding is that after all of these years, discovering a flawless copy of this Tops comic is extraordinary. This sale unfolded over the weekend over at Heritage Comics, selling for a record-breaking $720, doubling the previous record of $300 for a CGC 9.8, and standing out as the one and only 10.0 for this comic on the census. Surely there will be no grumbling about it, except for the 77 holders of the 9.8 graded copies who just got trumped. But hey, that's the ever changing world of comic book collecting. A 10 in a 1995 Tops comic when the comics were made of newspaper recycled.
And didn't this thing come in a plastic, like sealed in plastic with a card or something too? I mean,
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And how many people, like just slid it into bag and board while still in its original plastic sleeve, thus damaging the spine.
because it wasn't Topps Comics about getting a card with it.
Some of them were, yeah. Tops had had a couple gimmicks. They had like these serialized to 10,000, there was like, I think the X-Files comics some of them were serialized to 100,000 or something like that. Like, okay, well, why is that special? But that was the 90s, man.
Yeah. I saw the chat asking who is the cover artist, and yeah, it is Bisley. I see a lot of you asking, and yeah, very correct. Now, it is true. I just want to shout out Awesome Sauce Radio because I am seeing a lot more Jason books making the list, some Friday the 13th books making lists, and I think those are always sought out after, right? People love this. I personally think of, when you think of these slaughter, killing horror movies, immediately this is where your mind goes. And let me tell you, Jason is relentless as hell. Like there's nobody who keeps coming back more than Jason. But man, Leatherface is menacing and scary looking. I find between the two, either way, you're screwed. You're screwed. If any of them are chasing you, you're screwed. But man, Leatherface looks so creepy, man. I remember as a kid, I'd be like scared as hell of Leatherface. But
Yeah,
anyway,
pretty nuts. And I know that since then we've gotten a lot of these, you know, mashups of horror characters kind of fighting each other, kind of doing that, you know, celebrity death challenge kind of thing going on. This is, you know, one of the earlier examples, and it's worth being celebrated. Getting it in a 10 though, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, it's so apparently there's a Jason origin story of his mom that's going to be coming a TV series. So that's pretty interesting. Jason's mom has got it going on. Marty, where are you? I want some Marty Yogi. But all right, guys. Jason versus Leatherface, #1 variant info by Topps in 1995 had a top sale for a CGC 10. Yes, a 10 at $720. JB, what do we got at number 9?
Well, first of all, this is my final read of the night. And shout out to Cover Price, because I thought I had all versions of this book until I saw this read, and now I don't. Star Wars, issue #4, the Alamar's Bookstore Edition from the Philippines. Originally published in 1977. Now, Alamar's Bookstore began in 1945 in the Philippines and became one of the biggest retailers of American books in the 50s and 60s. They even ventured into publishing books through their Phoenix Press and Phoenix Publishing House brands, often including Alamar Bookstore ads in the products. Little did they know that nearly 40 years after closing down, they would produce some of the rarest Star Wars comics. Filipino variants have become some of the rarest and sought after foreign variants and have become incredibly hard to find in the States. Alamar's only reprinted issues 1 through 4 of the original Star Wars series, and when one manages to surface, it goes for big bucks. This week, a graded 4.0 copy of issue #4 came to market and sold for an out-of-this-world $1,500. At the beginning of the year, a graded 5.5 of issue #2 sold for $2,500.
Wow.
This shows that as time goes by, if more of these hit the market, prices are primed to go to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
What do you think of that? I've never seen this version before. SW104. I can't believe I don't have this.
Yeah. I love me some foreign books, man. And every week, man, I'm starting to notice we're seeing a lot more. Not that it's a new trend. This has been going on for quite some time, but just recently, Chris, I mean, on previous shows you've seen, like we've gotten the Newton comics that have been hitting the list over on the Shaker side. It's really cool to see. I love seeing some foreign stuff, some interesting, wonderful covers as well. This being that rare, I had no idea. Like a Philippine edition, this is really cool.
I love foreign books, especially when they deviate covers, you know, or we get a different color, like a color palette for foreign books. Like if this cover was black and white, I'd be like drooling all over it. And I really dig the look of foreign books. I have a growing collection, and yeah, it's pretty cool. This is pretty damn cool.
I could already see JB on eBay.
I don't have it. I'm getting it.
He literally got up, guys. He literally got up to go and search.
I had to go see. I mean, I've got I thought I had every version.
Yeah, this is wicked, dude. Yeah, nuts. But anyways, guys, Star Wars issue #4, Alamar's Bookstore Edition, Philippines by Marvel in 1977, had a top sale for a CGC 4.0 at $1,500. Chris, we're about to go to the last book of the night, but I just want to remind everybody, immediately after the read, we are hopping over to the Cover Price website to go through the daily shakers on the website. So stick around, because there's many other books that we are going to see that might blow our minds. Chris, what do we got?
And the transition to the shakers will be an exclusive music video that you will only see in full this one time, unless you go to my channel. All right. Shaker number 10, the last one of the night. We have Scotty Young giving us Fantastic Four and X-Men number 1 by Marvel made exclusive in 2020. In July 2020, Marvel announced Marvel Made, marketed as an exciting way to get exclusive Marvel goodies powered by Reed Pop. They noted this would be the focus of producing high-end limited run merchandise. They launched with a Scotty Young Premiere bundle consisting of pins, notebooks, and 2 exclusive variants for Excalibur number 1. They also offered this particular Scotty Young exclusive variant for those who either had a Marvel MasterCard or signed up for one of the Marvel MasterCards at San Diego Comic-Con and then purchased the Scotty Young Premiere Bundle. The significant hoops and details that fans had to jump through in order to obtain a copy effectively turned this into one of the hardest to find Scotty Young covers. There are 14 copies of the CGC census. 12 of them are 9.8s. However, one owner decided to let their near mint raw go for sale without grading, bringing a new all-time high of $975. That is just $25 below the previous all-time high, which is a 9.8, which sold for $1,000 3 years ago. While Marvel Made and Marvel MasterCard are no longer current programs, this variant lives on as fans escalate the value with every single sale. This is some compounding interest kind of stuff. My goodness.
Yeah.
But first of all, you got to jump through hoops to get it, so there is that rarity there.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, man. I like Scotty Young. I got it when I got into a little Scotty Young thing where I was buying all the Scotty Youngs because I liked them all. But there weren't that many that really held their value. A lot of them are, $5 or less books, and I pretty much moved most of them. I've never seen this before.
I'm a big Scotty Young fan. I have a lot of his covers. His Spider-Gwen number 1 variant where she's on a chimney with a yo-yo was one of my favorites. I've met the guy. He's super nice, super cool, super easy to talk to. And this is a valuable book. I see why. And man, if you have a 9.8 of this, it's graded. You might want to be able to just slide this over on eBay or something like that.
Yeah, well, whoever bought this in a raw near mint, it's crazy because you were just saying that the CGC 9.8 sold for $1,000, and now we have a raw near mint shy by only $25 from that $1,000 sale. So very interesting to see just how much of a jump this raw copy has taken. I have seen this before. I know how scarce it is, and Scotty fans, you could put them up there with Spawn fans. You could put them up there with Momoko fans. You could put them up there with, many others. But this raw sale is very impressive, man. Very impressive.
Hey, real quick, Lando, there was a question from Chico Sauce about one of my favorite books, ASM 238.
Yes.
Key, by the way.
I promise I will show that in the Shaker report just for Chico.
Okay, good. But let's make it clear for everybody, just so you know, that without the tattoos, you're not getting a blue label if you go slab that subbitch.
Exactly.
It is not complete. It needs to have the tattoos to be complete.
Yep. You're going to get that dreaded green label or purple.
Yeah, no, exactly. If you don't have it, unfortunately, that is the case. Now, I know some people were bypassing the system. I don't know if you guys know about this, but Fantastic Four issue 252 actually
has the tattoos.
Exactly. And people were taking
Yes.
tattoos from that book and slipping them into the ASM 238. Now,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, whether
I
that
would never even attempt something like that.
Yeah, that's just next level insanity. But if it worked for them, so be it. But I don't think that'll slide anymore, guys. So yeah, just putting it out there. But ASM 238 is definitely a book you want to get with the tattoo in it.
I'll tell you one. 238 tattoos and Mark Jeweler.
Yeah.
Oof. I have a 238 Newsy, but I don't have.
What about the 238 Canadian 75-cent variant?
Ooh.
No, I'm just on the Newsy side. Just on the Newsy side. But guys, X-Men Fantastic Four #1 by Scotty Young. Marvel made exclusive by Marvel in 2020. Had a top sale for a raw near mint at $975. Now, if you made it to the Ophir Abyss, welcome aboard. I am steering the wheel and we will go together. But hang tight. Before we take off into the abyss, you might have a chance over here on the Cover Price website. So, Chris, guide us through.
So first, we have to do our transition video.
Transition video.
Yes.
So
Is this the official debut? We're going to debut
official
this
debut. I everybody on who watches the show knows that I love AI tools. I get to play with them all the time, and I do a lot of fun stuff with them. And I spent some time to give a better quality video than the previous one. I give you the debut of the Cover Price first music video, Comic Dreams, bought and sold.
All right, here we go.
The pages whisper tales from the past. Collectors pray this price will last. Heroes flexing rare in every frame. A numbered gem in the value game. Price shakers climb, they're on the rise. Heroes and legends in every size. Flipping the ink like strikes of gold. Comic dreams bought and sold. Issue one's a holy grail to find. Foil covers sparkle, they blow your mind. Every crease tells me a story untamed. A saga of paper, glory unframed. Price shakers climb, they're on the rise. Heroes and legends in every size. Flipping the ink like strikes of gold. Comic dreams bought and sold. Watch them dance on that auction floor. One bid more, just one bid more. Collectors circle like sharks in the sea. The joy of ink fuels this currency. Price shakers climb, they're on the rise. Heroes and legends in every size. Flipping the ink like strikes of gold. Comic dreams bought and sold.
Chris, I absolutely love how it was such a like beautiful song. Beautiful song. And you got guns blasting at the end, like Rob Liefeld style. Right, yeah, there you go. I was saying the same thing. Wow, that was amazing. Very
Wow.
that was worthy of a Grammy.
All right, so Chris, you're big into the using the AI thing. Is that what this
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, the 100% AI with some like days of directing. But yes,
Wow.
100% AI, many iterations, and okay, so I promise that you will not have to sit through all 2 minutes and 38 seconds of that in the future. I will cut that down to about 6 seconds, and then in another month, or between now and the next month, I will come up with a brand new Shaker song with a brand new video, and I will show that one and do the same thing. And let's rinse and repeat, see how long I can do this now. But we had that.
Yeah, you need a Budweiser, right?
We had the Temu Pitbull video for a little while, right? And so this is the other side of the spectrum, country, jelly roll kind of stuff, and
the song made me feel like I wanted to hug my comics. I guess it was very touchy.
Yeah,
that was good.
I'm sitting here hugging my long box as I edited it. Yeah,
yeah. All right. Well, anyways, let's take it into the Shaker report, guys.
Wow.
Love you guys. I had to say it after that song. I love you guys.
It's an earworm. It's going to be in your head all night.
I'm going to come back to watch it. I'm curious for those lyrics. I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's good stuff.
All right.
That's Derek.
all right. So to answer the question earlier, here we have the different variations of Amazing Spider-Man number 238. This is over on Cover Price. That gives you all the information you could ever want about comics and collecting. And here you can see that Canadian price variant, 75-cent cover. That's your money spot right there. But if you have a direct edition or a newsstand and you have it graded, you're going to be getting some big bucks. Now, there were more newsstands during this time than there were directs. So just take a quick look here. We have, I hear rubbing. What's going on there? What is that?
I hope no one's rubbing anything after that song.
It was Slab Comics 9.8. You're looking at $1,500. Even a 9.0 or an 8.5, you're in the $200 to $300 mark. And then the newsstand, we can do the same thing. Look at the metrics, and you can get that little peek behind the curtain of how we get our information. And we have, let's see here. Oh, where's it at? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see that the newsstand is a lot more expensive, almost double the price of the 9.8. Now, again, there were more newsstands than there were directs. However, newsstands were a lot harder to find in good condition because most of them were like pinned, on actual newsstands, especially back during that time. Okay, we got Cover Price. You guys ready to see the shakers?
Let's go, baby.
Okay. Click on the shaker button. We got daily shakers here. We got
big money.
Yeah, look at that. Detective Comics with Joker money on the Joker Millions. 7.5 selling for $3,900.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a wicked.
And once again, we see a Ghost Rider book really spiking up in value. And this, I keep on saying this, there's something going on with Ghost Rider right now. The first appearances for each of the Ghost Riders are going up. The number ones and the first appearances are going up. So
but
if you can,
that's my favorite series, Marvel Spotlight. If you were told you can only get one series, you're only going to get one because space is limited. I'd probably pick that Marvel Spotlight run right there.
Triple Action All Stars.
Oh.
No.
I'd be happy with ASM on the back end, not so much anything after volume 2 almost.
But look at these foreign, look at this Finnish cover. I mean, that is just amazing. Oh my god. And then the Italian edition. I mean, come on. And who doesn't love foreign covers? I'm all about it.
Yes.
Let's see. We got this book is popping up right now. It's pretty big.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna get that fucking book, man.
I had the opportunity to. Well, I was offered the opportunity to buy an ASM number 1 in a 2.0 and this in a 4, but they wanted $11,000 and I just couldn't justify it. But I was eyeing my daughter's college fund very, very.
That Hulk third print always impresses me with the sales, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see here. Walking Dead. Oh, hey, look, I got this one.
Yep.
You know what?
What?
Almost $2,000 for a 6.0. I think I better
What?
put my 5 up because I think I have a 4.0, but because mine had things that were cut out of it. I have one of those ugly purple covers. But yeah, I mean, first appearance of Scooby Doo. I think I'm going to put that up. I think I'm
Yeah,
going to
might
put
be
it up.
time. Might be time.
Because I could use $2,000. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to turn around and buy this with that
All-Star
$2,000 right
Comics.
there. What was that?
All-Star Comics.
Yeah, All-Star Comics. Yeah.
I
Here's
still
that
think it's
Philippines edition
undervalued.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got to meet Kevin Eastman this last weekend. And
No
also-
way.
Really?
Yeah. So I got a couple things signed by Kevin Eastman, and I gave him a yo-yo.
Nah.
I said, you gave me the turtles, which was a big part of my childhood, so I want to give you a piece of my childhood back to you. And the guy behind me in line goes, dude, that was smooth. I'm like, come on, man, I'm talking. But it was cool because I paid for 2 things to get signed, and because I gave him like a yo-yo, he did like an extra autograph and then like a remark and a turtle head and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. But Kevin Eastman's a nice guy, and now he's got a yo-yo.
X-Men
go.
101, one of my all-time favorites.
Absolutely. Great
Yeah.
cover. Amazing
Dude,
cover.
Those 2 books, X-Men 50 and 101, are just yeah.
So
amazing.
this is first Polaris, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We got a pretty cool Death, Batman, and Robin cover here. Continuing going down. So if you're curious about where the data for this comes from, look at this Bruce Timm 125.
Yes. That's why I said what? Dude, I literally just covered this on my show maybe 2 weeks ago or something, and it was a pretty high
book right
sale.
there.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
this thing keeps climbing. What the hell?
Yeah.
Look at that.
These are all based off of sales. I mean, literally Heritage Auctions and eBay and a couple other sales platforms. Cover Price has robots that goes out and scours all of them and looks for the top sale. This little icon right here, this little green book icon right here, indicates that this is the most that this is ever sold for. So $1,100 for a 9.8 in this 1 in 25 variant Bruce Timm Luke Cage cover, which is pretty damn awesome if you ask me.
Yeah.
And
Team Monkey Head is asking how much the Hulk was going for. I don't know if he's talking about this one, but that's
so. This is Hulk 180.
First appearance of
first
Wolverine.
Yeah.
uh-oh.
First real appearance of Wolverine. Don't at me. Check this out. This is a comic that came in a pack of underwear.
Yep.
Get out of here.
$1,200.
It came in a pack of underwear.
That's right. This thing is crazy. Fruit of the Loom premium mini comic. Came with your superhero tidy whities. Look at this. We see that this Ultimate Fallout 4 is going up again. I'm telling you, closer we get to the movie, more we're going to see it go up. And here you go, Betty and Veronica. Anytime you see the Betty and Veronica covers that are, or Archie covers, sexual innuendo kind of going on. Gee, Betty, your tomatoes are doing pretty good. So yeah. So definitely an innuendo cover. Also the first appearance of Cherry Blossom, which is getting some attention right now. So that's why that's popping up right there. And then you have, of course, Invincible. Okay.
And ASM 300 on there every week.
Every week.
Oh, what about that? Whoa, go back to ASM 5. Right there.
I
have that. I have one of those. I have one of those.
Is this the first introduction of the first meeting of Spider-Man?
I think first Doom outside of Fantastic Four.
First Doom versus
first Doom versus Spider-Man. All right.
Exciting comics. Look at that right there, 2.5. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the top here. I'm going to filter by only show the all-time highs.
All-time highs.
All-time highs. Let me see. We're going to scroll down here. Look at this. Look at this. Amazing Spider-Man versus the Will-O-Wisp. 9.8 sold for $400. We have a Morbius cover, not even a key, sold for $400 for 9.8.
Yeah, that's not even a key, is it?
Not
It's a
even a
great
key.
cover, though.
Oh.
Still a great cover.
Let's see.
Wait, slide up real quick to the right. That's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
all-time high in that.
131.
That's
Yep.
part of the Craven.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we
That
have
was such a good read.
right next to it, we had Chaos in Canada.
Yeah.
Look at this, another Ghost Rider book.
That's a sick one. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen
Who
that
is it?
either.
Who's the artist on this? Is this Ash? Ashwood?
Yeah.
That's the spot. This is the Ghost Rider who lifts right here. My goodness.
Yeah. Oh,
Sonic.
Freaking
Nice
print.
price on that one.
Come in.
There's an Eminem homage cover, limited to 50.
Whoa. No, go down. Sorry. Okay, no, I mistook. I thought it was a different cover. I was like, excuse me. But it is a Nakayama. That's cool.
A David Nakayama. Yep.
Oh.
Look at that Rogue cover right there. That's pretty awesome.
Yummy.
What was the top sale on that? Sorry, go back up to that.
$145 for CGC 9.9. Okay.
9.9.
Yeah. Am I starting to see some C2E2 books or?
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, look.
Pre-sale,
right.
yeah, right over here to the right. Pre-sale.
Yeah, there's a pre-sale right there. Stanley and Galactus smashed up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what that is. Let's see what that is here. Collector's Cave Marvel trading card homage, limited to 50 in the lava.
Whoa.
Wow. That is very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So also I'm gonna go ahead and plug this because we're getting close to C2E2. Let's go to, I think, content, right? Is that where that's hidden at? The conventions. All right.
Where was that question about the suggestion? Reach out to us on Instagram so we can actually have a good conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm if you guys are down, I'm actually I'd be happy to touch on this at the end.
Yeah.
Very, very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because there's some good raw stuff that's out there. So where's my breakdown? All right, go ahead and talk about good raw comics to look up while I find the C2E2 thing, Lando.
Oh, JB, do you want to kick off the question? So basically, you need gifts, goods, and books is asking, do you have any suggestions for small raw investment costs but are worth being graded and have value, but a good starting off point, asking for a comic newbie who is still learning? So let's go around the horn very quickly on that.
I'm not grading right now, so you may want to not ask me a question. I like raw books again. I've gone through it was an emotional roller coaster. As you can see, I have graded books, but now I want to flip through this and I can't. So I had to go find the Marvel Masterpiece version of it so I could flip through it. I think starting out, I pick the title that you want to actually read first so that you can get that enjoyment out of it, because comic books as an investment aren't the best thing to be investing in. So if you can invest in something that you actually enjoy, also, you get the double benefit of it. So if you can pick a title that you might be interested in, and then go as far back as you can. You know, I want to. It's funny how I started Bronze Age, and then I really wanted. Then I got deep into silver, and now I want gold. I'm going backwards. I just want to get older and older and older. So I'm looking for pre-code horror now, and it just seems to happen that way. And then you'll go through stages. So what you can afford, something you're interested in reading, and as old as possible if you can.
I think some safe bets would be, well, first of all, buy comics because you love comics.
Yes.
Okay. If you want to buy something for the purpose of reselling later, that's fine. I do that too. But don't let that be the only reason why you buy comics. I mean, I have a collection that is tens of thousands of comics deep, but I also have a store that is thousands of comics deep. So I definitely collect more than I sell, but I sell so I can buy.
Correct.
And without having to touch the household funds. That's really the only reason why I sell comics online, so I can buy new comics.
I also want to say, because it's okay to sell a book because they come back. I've had so many copies that I thought I'd never own again. Oh, I'll never own one of those again. And then sure enough, I get it again. And it's just, it always seems that way.
So,
Wolverine 1, 9.8. I'm never gonna own that. And then they'll come.
So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. Buy what you like, okay? And nobody can ever give you a hard time for buying what you like, okay? Unless you are buying something you can't afford, then you should probably make better choices. If you're doing an investment, dropping your money into a Charles Schwab dividends account is going to be better for you long term. But if you want to have some fun, yeah, you can buy.
Go get a Vanguard no load S&P. It'll double every 7 years.
Yeah, whatever. It's boring. But
so boring.
If you're looking for targets, right? Leander, go ahead and share my. I switch to this. Okay. If you go to Cover Price, you click on key issues right here. These are all keys, right? And that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for keys, right? So what's something that you like, and what's something you think might be getting interest in the future? I can tell you, I'm going through this right now, and I'm looking at this right here. First Winnie the Pooh, and it's $100.
Yeah,
I think that'd be worth picking up, because Winnie the Pooh is an all-time it's an all-time character. Winnie the Pooh's never going away. I know it's public domain now. That just means it's going to get more attention. But I think I could safely pick this up for between $85 and $200 and go sell it in the future and not be sad about it. I mean, that's what I do with Scooby-Doo. But yeah,
when you first started, when you guys started, were you guys run collectors? Because I went from, I need everything. I need to be a completionist. I need to finish this run. You know what insane? You cannot finish ASM run, guy. You'll be broke.
Sadly,
you will go broke. So then it's like, okay, I'm not going to finish this run. How about if I just get the keys? Now let me sell off the non-keys to buy the keys. And then it's the evolution of the collecting. Okay, so first it's buy everything, and then no, I can't actually afford to have everything. So let me sell some of this and keep the keys. And then eventually it's like, well, do I really want minor keys, or do I only just want major keys? I'm going to sell all these minor keys and get myself a couple of majors.
So the other thing that I would say is just keep your eye open, because you never know when you're going to stumble across a good deal. I mean, Lando, what did I find this weekend?
Dude, if I show you some of the things I've been finding, like you know, we've seen this on the list, right? Have we not?
Yeah.
The Johnny
Maniac, yeah.
I picked up the entire run for $10. But what I want to just say about this, I know we're going. I guess we could call this the Shaker Show after dark.
After dark, yeah.
We're running over time, but if I could suggest anything when it comes to that, patience. Be patient. Do not buy into that FOMO and panic. Don't panic buy. Many things that I've wanted for the longest time, kind of what JB was saying. I started off wanting to collect all of ASM. That's why I started comics, was because I fell in love.
I'm going to finish my dad's run was my idea. I'm going to finish my dad's run. I can't afford to do that. Are you crazy?
Yeah, but what I will always say is, know what the fair market value is for something that you are interested in. And when you see books hit lists such as Cover Price's top 10, you're already bleep out of luck, right? So at that point, just be patient. I come across books in the wild oftentimes where the price is right? And because I waited, I didn't panic buy. Now, when it comes to the slabbing thing, I too am on the pause, simply because I don't care for it at the moment. Although I do have slabs behind me. That was, when there was less things going on in certain places. But I would say, buy as low as you can, and when you see something take off, look at the Marvel Rivals, guys. Be up to date. pay attention, read the tea leaves, as we've said before. Marvel Rivals, those first 3 books that came out before the release of the video game, they were available at the final order cutoff for $3.99, $4.99. You could buy that magic. Sorry, you could sell that magic now for $95 raw. So just be cautious, be aware. I wouldn't be a buyer now at 95. I would, hold out is what I'm saying. Just be patient.
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to find. And perfect example is what happened to me this weekend at AwesomeCon. Lando, you already know about this. JB, I don't think you saw it, but let me share my window again. This bad boy right here, I picked up for $70.
Yeah, Nintendo Power.
No way.
Nintendo Power number 1. I picked it up for $70. It still had the poster inside, and this is the subscription copy, which was severely less print. Right, the retail one says free poster inside. This one says free sample copy. I didn't even realize that it was the rarer of the two until I basically was sharing it with the Cover Price team, saying, I can't believe I got this for $70. And it was actually less than $70 because I bundled it with a couple Valiant Nintendo comics. And yeah. I think I paid $65 out the door for all of it. And this was at a convention. And you never know what you're going to find. Now, I walked this directly over to the CGC booth and had it slabbed. Even though I don't get very many things slabbed very often, this was so crispy that I thought if I don't get this protected right now, it's going to fall apart on my way home. So yeah, I was happy to do that. Yeah, man, you just never know. You never know what you're going to find.
Yeah. And books do come and go. Like the last con I went to, I literally went to the con with 4 slabs, not $1 in my pocket, and made a deal, cut some deals.
There you go,
and
man.
Took some of the books that I got. And I was like, all right, I'll trade you these for half cash, half books. Yeah. I took those books and did it again. I'll trade you these for half cash and half books. Yeah. Did it again.
Do that.
By the time I was done, I had a pocket full of money.
Yeah, but guys, there's many books. Like I said, if you're patient and you're aware. I did see somebody mention pay attention to the condition as well. That's another thing. Pay attention to that. We just had a book hit the top 10, Impact Winter. We spoke about this several times. I picked it up for $6 today, and it's selling at $40 Canadian. So just to give you an idea, that was me being patient. Had I went out looking for it when the list popped, I probably would have paid $40. So anyways, but guys, that was the show. Thank you so much for coming to hang out, the live chat. We live for you guys. We love you guys. Lots of great conversations. JB stepping in to fill in for Marty. So thank you so much, JB. It's always a pleasure. But guys, before we say bye to you, we're going to go around the horn. Chris, say your goodbyes.
First of all, JB, thanks again for filling in. And guys, thanks for humoring me with the Cover Price music video. I always have a lot of fun with these kinds of things. And I thought the response was great. If you guys in the chat want to see it again, you can go to my Instagram, and then there's a link to my YouTube in the link tree. So thank you guys for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and yeah, man, I'm not gonna say the keep digging one because I want to leave that for our friend JB. But yeah, this is where the comic dreams are made.
All right, man. And yeah, we got a new song tonight, which was also cool. So thank you, Chris. Cool. But JB, take it away.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me on again, man. I'm sitting at home, and I love every opportunity I get to talk to adults. It's always good. It's fun times. I am moving part of the collection, as I'm always moving the collection around and to acquire other books. And the latest item that we've decided to part ways with is our Avengers #1 in a 3.0. If you are in the market to get your hands on an Avengers #1 and a 3.0 CGC, reach out to me on Instagram and maybe we can work something out. As always, I want to say, don't forget. I want to say, everybody out there, don't forget, we had a good time tonight. Thank you.
Damn right. Well said. It was an absolute blast. But guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, I just want to remind you before we step on out, we have the C2E2 weekend taking place, but there's the cover prize giveaway show Saturday, April 12th, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So keep an eye out on that because Cover Price is teaming up with eBay, Big Clutch, and they're giving away a ton of exclusives on the weekend. According to what Matt was saying over on Comics Covered, it looks like they're giving away quite a few great things. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And yeah, man, C2E2, I'm imagining we're going to see quite a few books on the lists next week, man. I think this weekend is going to be absolutely insane. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Thank you for dropping that link. There's a
link.
shortcut if you want to relive the video.
Yeah. Again, it's if you want.
If you
want. That's totally totally on you.
It's a total earworm. It's going to be stuck in your head all night.
Yeah. But all right, guys, if you're heading to C2E2, have yourselves a great con. If not, we will see you guys next Tuesday as we bring you the top 10. So have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you then. Adios.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.